Guys, we have something we've never seen before. I don't know about you, but I'm pumped.
Dr. Paul here. Never seen this before either, and I am a busy pediatrician for the last 30 years. Something important to learn, and that's a bulging fontanelle. You need to know what this looks like, because if you had a really sick kid with a bulging fontanelle, they probably have meningitis. Hello. Hi guys. How you doing?
Good.
Okay, so what's going on today?
Last night around midnight, we noticed that his soft spot was swollen and
Okay.
kind of puffed up.
Gotcha.
And so we
And
wanted
you've
to
never
bring
seen
him
that before, obviously.
No.
Okay. And I'm recalling that because of the measles scare we had in the Portland area, it's an ongoing outbreak. The recommendation for third world countries, if you've been exposed or might have measles, is to give high dose vitamin A.
Mm-hmm.
And so you had read about that.
Right.
And he did get a dose,
He
correct?
got one dose.
One dose.
Yep.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think? I'm not going to get a smile because you're just focused on that camera. See the bulging fontanelle, but it's right here.
We'll try some different ones.
There's actually a tiny bit of cradle cap right there too. So the light is shining on the part that's bulging, and so it starts right here and goes to right there. And when I run my finger from the front of the head back like that, it's like about an inch, a little over an inch, inch and a half of slightly raised tissue. And it feels squishy. See that? See how it squishes down? You can squish that. That does not hurt. It just goes down like almost like you're pushing on a overripe grape. Something like that. That, folks, is a bulging fontanelle. Really important for our viewers. If you ever have a baby who's super sick, if you have a bulging fontanelle, for any of our viewers, so that little soft spot that's in the front, there's a posterior fontanelle back here. Fontanelles are these openings between all the bones. So we have the frontal, we have the parietal bones, and they make a little, where they join, there's that little soft spot, which is right there. And it's open for babies because their head has to do a lot of growing in the first year or two of life, and so it allows for that growth. But it's a natural pressure relief. If you have increased pressure in your brain, which can happen with meningitis infections, or it can happen if you have a cerebrospinal fluid blockage for some reason, it can bulge. I've been a busy pediatrician for 30 years and I've never really seen a bulging fontanelle like this. And I've taken care of meningitis kids in the hospital back when I was in training. So this is something worth seeing. You just see that little extra bulge on the forehead, and it's absolutely appropriate that anybody who has a kid with a bulging fontanelle go see the doctor, let them figure out if it's serious or not.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you came in. So I went to the literature and put in vitamin A and bulging fontanelle, and there was a study published in 1995 in Bangladesh where they do this for measles situations, follow these recommendations, and they found that infants who got high dose vitamin A were a lot more likely to get a bulging fontanelle. It was harmless, but it happened, and it's been noted before. So we've had 2 cases now in my practice because I did post those Academy of Pediatrics, World Health Organization recommendations. Since we were having an outbreak, I thought people ought to know about it. And you were being good parents and, thought, oh, preventatively we're going to do this. And there's no harm done, but I want the viewers of the world to know that this can happen. So therefore, if your child doesn't have measles, I'd probably hold off. Hold off on giving high dose vitamin A. Thank you. Now, you can give recommended daily allowance vitamin A every day. That's totally fine, and probably that's what I would do, having learned, that you're our second family to have experienced this. High dose vitamin A, and it's only happened to the very little ones, right? So there have been older kids who've gotten this, no problem. So I would say for little infants, if you are in a possible measles situation, but the risks are pretty low, I'd probably just do regular daily allowance of vitamin A, not do the high dose, reserve that for my kids got measles. Then yes, the data is pretty good that it might be helpful. reduces mortality, and of course that's why you were doing it. Like,
Right.
hey, we're gonna
Yeah.
give our kid extra protection. So no harm done. I wanted folks to see what a bulging fontanelle looks like, and if you've got a sick kid with a bulging fontanelle, you go right to the doctor because you don't want to mess with that.
Yeah.
And most importantly, now we've got information for people who are wondering what to do that might suggest, let's not go with this high dose if we're really not at super high risk. One last caveat about vitamin A. If you can get it as beta carotene, it'll be less toxic. So that was another thing. When I put up my post, I'm going with the AAP and the World Health Organization. And then when I got my first call, I'm thinking, I wonder if there's a beta carotene preparation, and there actually is. So that's just another little piece of advice. If you're going to buy vitamin A drops for an infant, see if you can get the beta carotene version. It's going to be safer. All right. Thanks for watching. You guys, a big thumbs up for our wonderful family. Thank you guys for sharing a bulging fontanelle. Very informative for our people, and also this experience with high-dose vitamin A. Thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Paul.